Before you make an FPL transfer, here's who you should be buying and who you should be selling for Game Week 23. Could Arsenal assets have a double game week in the next 3 weeks? Chelsea assets are back on the menu with an amazing fixture run, and Bruno Fernandes looks back to his best. Here's who you should be buying and selling for FPL Game Week 23. Welcome back to the FPL Mugs YouTube channel and welcome to today's Who to Buy video. If you're brand new to the channel, make sure you've clicked that sub button and also don't forget to like. It'll take you 2 seconds to do and the like goal is 15 likes on today's video. Starting off with the first player who to buy this week, it's actually ENZO Fernandes of Chelsea. We spoke in the introduction saying that Chelsea have a ridiculous fixture run and I really wasn't lying. In fact, maybe Chelsea assets were on the menu last week when ENZO Fernandes got an assist. He's had 3 attacking returns, in his last 4 weeks. And I feel as though that theme could very much continue into these amazing fixtures he's got. Now, a lot of people are looking at Chelsea assets from 24 onwards, and rightly so. We have West Ham at home, Wolves away from home, Leeds at home, Burnley at home. A lot of good home fixtures in the mix there for Chelsea. And in my honest opinion, Chelsea, you could have bought them last game week. And I don't even think you should wait for 24. You could buy them this week as well. Crystal Palace away. Now, for me, Crystal Palace as a side are massively underperforming right now. They should not be at the level they are at. Gahey's gone. Glasner's throwing hissy fits in interviews. It's just not a good look for Palace right now. And I'm a Sunderland fan. I watched them play us at the Stadium of Light the other day. They really didn't threaten us that much. The goal they scored was an intended cross. For me, Palace are very weak and Chelsea are on the uptrend. I think ENZO Fernandes at only 6.5 is an amazing transfer. In fact, better than Cole Palmer currently with Cole Palmer's injury problems. We don't know what's happening with Cole Palmer's groin injury. We probably won't hear too much about it unless Rosenior is a pretty sort of open and honest manager in press conferences. But let's wait and see on that one. For me, ENZO Fernandes is a brilliant buy for FPL Game Week 23. We're in a very odd place with Bukayo Saka in FPL because we have really great fixtures down for Arsenal here, and 26, there could be a double game week for Arsenal where we have Brentford away and Wolves away. The Wolves away fixture from 31 could be moved forward to 26 if Arsenal beat Chelsea in the Cup. So that would be an amazing set of fixtures for Bukayo Saka, a set of fixtures which you will need almost triple Arsenal in your FPL team. Saka, who should be on penalties, really should be on your buy list, but is he actually just a sell right now? We're taking a look at his minutes here. In Game Week 19, 82 minutes. That's okay. I think if a player's getting 85, 90 minutes, 85, 87 minutes, like through the game weeks, that's actually okay. We then come into the problem, and it's the past few game weeks. Bournemouth away in Game Week 20, 23 minutes. Game Week 21 against Liverpool at home, by the way, 77 minutes. Game Week 22, 33 minutes. It just is super inconsistent from Bukayo Saka. Madueke, when he comes on as well, looks actually pretty good. So it's not the case that Saka has to play every single game. There's no other option. Madueke exists, and he can do a good job at that. So for me, looking at Bukayo Saka in my team as a potential buy soon, I don't think I can bring myself to do it. I'm going to have to monitor his minutes every single game week, and hopefully we get some form of understanding from the midweek fixtures and from the weekend that maybe Bukayo Saka is a buy, but in my honest opinion right now, he kind of looks like a sell. If I held him, I wouldn't be too arsed. I think holding him's probably the right move if you do own him, but I wouldn't be buying him right now. Staying on the double game week hype train for that potential double game week against Brentford away and Wolves away for Arsenal in game week 26, we of course have Gabriel. Now I know you're probably one of the 35% of Gabriel owners, but if you're not, both of you should be listening to what I've got to say, because this double game week that could be coming up in 26, this could be my triple captain. Gabriel could be my triple captain for FPL game week 26. A defender. What has FPL come to? What is going on? How are we even considering this? Triple captaining defenders in double game weeks. DEFCON and everything involved has just made us go crazy this season. And this is the guy that could be my triple captain instead of Erling Haaland. What is going on? But still, we need to talk about Gabriel. If you don't have him, 6.8 million is a price to pay. But honestly, you could buy him, leave him in your team for the rest of the season, and be pretty happy you've done so. Great asset, pops up with the goals, the occasional DEFCON, and of course, plays for the best defense and probably the best team right now in the league. I would be buying Gabriel. Bruno Fernandes has 280,000 transfers in for game week 23, but are people buying him just 1 week too early? Does that question answer itself? I think it might do. Arsenal away from home, it isn't the most optimal fixture. Now, if you have bought him already this week, it's most likely you have a team structure and transfers available where it kind of suits your team to do and it makes sense. But for most people, just waiting to game week 24 feels like the best play here. I know a lot of managers are selling Phil Foden to buy Bruno Fernandes. Phil Foden has Wolves at home. Bruno Fernandes plays the best team in the league away from home. It doesn't quite add up. It doesn't quite add up. I know Foden's been disappointing and Bruno Fernandes looks a lot better. And in all honesty, I always call Bruno Fernandes the best midfielder in the game because I've had him for the majority of the season and he's just been insane for me. Back from injury, playing more advanced, has an incredible amount of data behind him. Like, I think he's great. But that decision of selling Foden to buy Bruno Fernandes this week, it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. I'm an FPL manager that will look at data and kind of take away as much emotion as possible from my decision making, and that's kind of how I would be playing it this week. But I understand if there's frustration with other midfielders in your team and you want to buy Bruno Fernandes for the longer term, I don't really mind it, but I think you can just wait 1 more week. WOLTEMADE is a player you should be considering selling in FPL game week 23. We spoke about SAKA's minute issues. WOLTEMADE has it and has had it for much, much longer. There are also some other pretty big problems with this player, and we're going to cover those first. Firstly, 7.2 million. How is he so expensive? He feels like he's not worth anywhere near that right now in FPL. His form is atrocious. And of course, people are getting sick of him and his ownership is slowly going down. We've seen a similar thing with Jean-Philippe Mateta. I don't really think there's any value within this player right now. We see the fixtures coming up, and I think some of them are okay within this mix. Brentford at home, that's not too bad. Spurs away, that's not too bad either. Spurs being just away from home is a bit of a downer for Newcastle. It brings me great joy as a Sunderland fan that Newcastle are terrible away from home, but realistically, it is Spurs within that fixture. Then you have sort of a great fixture of Everton at home in 28. The issue with WOLTEMADE and the true, reason you should be selling him really is the minutes are just terrible. Ever since Wissa has been back, let me just read some of these out to you. And this is starting really from kind of game week 15-ish. We've had 73 minutes. Next game week where Sunderland beat Newcastle in the derby, 74 minutes. Chelsea next week, 72. United next week, 67. The week after, 10 minutes against Burnley. The week after, 12 minutes against Palace. 74 minutes, 66 minutes. It's just not good enough. 7.2 million I will add to that. 7.2. WOLTEMADE, it just does not feel valuable to own him in FPL right now. You could own a Calvert-Lewin and be much happier with the position you're in FPL. I think he's an absolute sell. What do you think? Marcus Tavernier saved my Game Week 22 team by scoring last night. Of course, I recommended you sell Bruno G and buy Tavernier last week for some pretty big upside. Bruno G blanked, Marcus Tavernier 8 points. We'll take that all day. And yes, Tavernier went down with a small knock last night, but hopefully he's okay to play in the up-and-coming game weeks. We kind of seen Tavernier go down, have a bit of tightness, didn't hobble off the pitch, didn't have any pain on his face. I think he'll be fine for the Liverpool fixture, but if not, he's got a great stretch of long-term fixtures. Now, of course, I suggested you sell Bruno G and buy Tavernier last game week. That was a Night Manager's approved move. If you don't know who Night Managers are, they're the best performing FPL algorithm in the entire game. A third of their customers who start the season with them are in the top 30k, and one of their managers is 19th in the world. Check the link in the description out. Use code FPLMOGS for 2 free weeks of their services. But with Tavernier and their suggestion to buy him, it really does make sense to me. I mean, look at all the great fixtures coming up. The fact he's on penalties, the fact he plays so many minutes, it's just absolutely brilliant. 5.5, 2.7% owned right now. Like, I can't quite fit all of the good fixtures on the graphic either. After game week 28, you've got Brentford at home, Burnley away, Manchester United at home, and then even if you hold them a bit longer till game week 34, maybe on your bench, you've got Leeds at home. Like, the fixtures are absolutely fantastic for Bournemouth for a ridiculous stretch of time. So cheap, such a differential right now. No one's really talking about him that much. He is, for me, the buy in the midfield right now. We're talking, you know, one of the best cheap players in the game in my eyes. Tavernier, you should be buying into your FPL team. We all want a Chelsea defender for this up-and-coming fixture run, but who the hell do we pick? Reece James, Chalobah, Tosin, Achapong, Cucurella? It's so hard to pick, but Chalobah feels like the safest bet right now, and we still have that sort of transfer rumour and sort of progress made on the centre-back in League 1 and some other options as well for Chelsea, because they do probably need to sign someone. It's very weak at the back right now for Chelsea, but not in the way that's concerning. It's just the case that their squad is so thin, and of course, their injuries are pretty much keeping them at bay in that back line. But at the end of the day, they should have maybe addressed that problem earlier. But getting back to Chalobah, amazing fixtures. We know they're there. 5.5. This guy plays 90 minutes pretty much every single week. I'm going to scroll down and see a week where he didn't play 90 minutes. From game week 8, he's played 90 minutes every single week. That's ridiculous. He is the safe option as a Chelsea defender pick for game week 23. Is it sort of a desperate time to be buying Chelsea defenders? Not particularly, being away from home at Crystal Palace. I do think there is a very strong possibility of a clean sheet for Chalobah, but maybe with some of this transfer news, maybe Chalobah drops out the team. We don't quite know. I think you'll be safe. I think you'll play 90 minutes yet again. It's just a great transfer in my eyes with the fixtures coming up. I would consider buying Chalobah this week, but most likely from game week 24 onwards. Just to quickly outro the video, tomorrow's video is going to be a wildcard draft for game week 23, so make sure you're looking out for that. If you did enjoy today's video though, make sure you've dropped a like, and if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you click that sub button for future FPL content and FPL streams. But that is everything for today's video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.